He parked his car and walked into the forest, believing he would return before sunset. He told no one to worry, because this was not his first exploration. The tunnel had been abandoned for decades, sealed by time, forgotten by people, but not empty. What Samuel Hayes did not know was that once you step inside, some places do not let you leave. There were no warning signs, no screams, no witnesses, only darkness. Hours later, his car was still there, locked. Untouched. Inside the tunnel, footprints appeared where none should exist. Lights were seen, moving without explanation, and sounds were heard that could not be traced. Search teams entered the tunnel expecting to find a lost man. They came out with questions instead. No body, no blood, no answers. Years later, when evidence finally surfaced, it revealed something far more disturbing than an accident. This is not a story about curiosity. It is a story about silence. Because some places listen, some places remember, and some places take what they want. This is the story of a man who walked into an abandoned tunnel and never came back. The tunnel was supposed to be empty. No people, no sound, no movement. Yet someone was breathing inside. Samuel Hayes did not know this when he stepped forward. If he had known, he might have turned back. But by the time the truth revealed itself, it was already too late. Darkness swallowed the light behind him, and the silence began to listen. Samuel Hayes was 34 years old, an urban explorer by passion and an office worker by routine. During the week, he lived a quiet, predictable life, but on weekends he chased forgotten places, abandoned factories, collapsed buildings, and places history had erased. He believed forgotten locations held stories, not danger. He believed fear was created by imagination, not reality. That belief would not survive the tunnel. Samuel prepared carefully that morning, backpack on his shoulders, flashlights secured, extra batteries packed, camera ready, water and food measured, rope and first aid kit tucked inside. He had researched the location for weeks. An old railway tunnel shut down after a partial collapse decades earlier. No trains, no maintenance, just stone walls and darkness. Online forums mentioned strange noises, unexplained lights, and people who felt watched. Samuel dismissed them all rumors, always. Followed abandoned places. The hike to the tunnel was long and quiet. Tall trees blocked the sky. The forest felt heavier the closer he got, as if sound itself struggled to move. Then the tunnel appeared. Stone walls cracked by time, rust-stained metal bars bent open. The entrance looked like a wound in the earth, dark and waiting. Samuel turned on his camera, took a breath, and stepped inside. The air changed instantly, cool and damp. Each step echoed forward, then returned. The flashlight beam struggled against the dark at first. The tunnel seemed ordinary: broken rails, graffiti, shallow pools of water. Samuel walked calmly, documenting everything, speaking softly to the camera, explaining history and structure. Then he noticed the ground footprints, fresh pressed into wet earth. They were not his. Samuel stopped, listened. Nothing, he told himself. Another explorer must have passed through earlier. Still, the unease settled into his chest. He continued forward slowly. The deeper he went, the colder it became. The walls felt closer. The darkness thicker, dripping water echoed unevenly, sometimes close, sometimes far. His flashlight flickered once, then steadied. Samuel checked his watch. Plenty of time before sunset. Halfway through the tunnel, the structure changed, stones uneven, the ceiling lower, shadows deeper. Ahead, the path narrowed where debris partially blocked the way. Samuel decided it was time to turn back. He rotated slowly, raising the flashlight. Behind him stretched only darkness. No entrance, no outline, no light. The tunnel looked longer than before. Endless. His breathing quickened, he told himself. Panic distorts perception. He took a step back. The sound echoed differently, as if the tunnel answered. Samuel tried his phone. No signal. He tried the satellite device. Nothing. The flashlight dimmed slightly. He adjusted the beam and continued forward. choosing movement over fear. Then he heard it, a sound, not made by water, not made by stone. Footsteps, slow, careful, matching his pace. Samuel stopped. The sound stopped. He raised the camera. The viewfinder showed nothing but black. His voice trembled for the first time as he whispered, "Hello." The tunnel did not answer, but something shifted ahead, a shape darker than the darkness itself. Samuel took another step back. His foot struck loose stone. The echo rang loud and sharp. The footsteps resumed closer. Samuel turned and ran. The tunnel stretched endlessly ahead. His flashlight struggled. His heart pounded. He did not know where he was going, only that he could not stop because somewhere behind him something was following, and the tunnel was no longer empty. The tunnel never let Samuel forget that it was there, even when he stopped running, even when his breath burned his chest. The darkness stayed close. Samuel slowed his steps, forcing himself to listen. The footsteps behind him had stopped again. Silence pressed against his ears. He stood still, light shaking in his hand. Waiting, nothing. He told himself fear was playing tricks. That sound echoes overlap in places like this. He moved forward again. Slow, careful minutes passed, or maybe longer. Time had no meaning inside the tunnel. The flashlight grew weaker, its beam no longer sharp, just a dull cone cutting into black. Samuel finally reached a wider section, an emergency alcove built decades ago. He leaned against the wall, breathing hard. That was when he heard a whisper, not loud, not clear, just enough to know it was not his own breath. Samuel froze, every muscle locked. The whisper came again, closer. He lifted the camera, hands shaking. The lens caught movement, a blur, a shadow crossing the beam. Samuel backed away. His heels slipped on damp stone. He fell hard. The flashlight rolled. The light spun wildly across the walls. For a brief second, the beam caught a figure, tall, still watching. Then darkness returned. Samuel scrambled to his feet. Heart pounding, he grabbed the light and ran again. He did not know how long he ran. The tunnel felt endless, each turn identical, each step heavier than the last. Eventually, the ground changed. Metal rails appeared beneath his boots. Old tracks partially buried that gave him hope. Tracks meant exits, maintenance paths. Some way out. He followed them, ignoring the pain in his legs. Then he heard voices. Multiple, low murmuring. Samuel shouted for help. His voice echoed wildly. The voices stopped suddenly. Light appeared ahead. Not daylight, but artificial flashlights. Relief washed over him. Samuel ran toward the lights, shouting. Waving his arms, the lights turned off. Darkness swallowed everything again. Samuel stopped short, confusion turning to fear. Then hands grabbed him, strong, sudden. He screamed. The sound cut short. The camera fell clattering against stone. The footage captured chaos, shaking images, muffled voices, a struggle, then silence outside the tunnel. Samuel Hayes did not return. Night fell. The forest stood quiet, unchanged. Hours passed. Then morning. Samuel missed his scheduled check-in messages, went unanswered. By afternoon, concern spread among his friends. Then police were contacted. Search teams arrived near the old rail line. Dogs, volunteers, officers. They found his car parked where he had left it. Locked, untouched. No signs of a struggle, no trail leading away. Someone mentioned the tunnel. Authorities hesitated. The structure was unstable, dangerous, but they entered. Flashlights cut through darkness. Echoes bounced endlessly. They found footprints, multiple sets, fresh and old. Deep inside, they found his backpack. Torn empty. Nearby lay a broken flashlight and the camera. No Samuel. Search efforts continued for days. Then weeks. Every inch of the tunnel was searched, collapsed. Sections examined, debris moved. Nothing. No body, no blood, no answers. The case grew cold. The tunnel was sealed again, warning signs placed, fences repaired. Officially, Samuel Hayes vanished during an exploration accident. Unofficially, no one believed that because accidents do not erase people completely. And tunnels do not create footsteps on their own years past, but the tunnel remains silent, watching, waiting. 5 years passed after Samuel Hayes disappeared, 5 long years where questions remained unanswered. The tunnel stayed sealed, locked behind fences and warning signs most people forgot. But mysteries do not disappear. They wait. The storm arrived without warning. Days of heavy rain soaked the mountains. Water rushed through old channels. Earth shifted, stone loosened. During a routine inspection, a maintenance crew noticed damage near the tunnel wall. Part of the collapsed section had broken open, exposing an area untouched since the day Samuel vanished. As workers cleared debris, something small caught the light. Metal scratched familiar. A camera, Samuel Hayes' camera. The discovery reopened everything. Police returned to the tunnel. This time with specialists, engineers, forensic teams. The camera was damaged, covered in dirt and moisture, but the memory card remained intact. When investigators reviewed the footage, the room fell silent. The video showed Samuel walking, breathing, steady, speaking calmly. Then the moment he stopped, the camera shook slightly. His voice dropped. The sound of footsteps followed, not echoes, not water footsteps. The lens captured shadows moving independently of the light. A voice whispered something unintelligible, low, close. Then the footage jolted violently. A struggle, blurred images. A sudden impact. The video ended. For the first time there was proof Samuel had not been alone. Investigators reviewed old reports, search logs, maintenance records. Patterns emerged: unauthorized access points, reports of lights seen inside the tunnel late at night, complaints dismissed years earlier. One name appeared repeatedly: Ethan Cole, a former railway maintenance inspector, quiet, middle-aged, known to frequent the area. Ethan Cole had been interviewed briefly years ago, nothing suspicious at the time. No evidence now. Detectives looked closer. They learned Ethan had continued visiting the tunnel long after it was shut down. He knew every corridor, every emergency alcove, every hidden space. He lived alone, no close family, no steady job. When police questioned him again, Ethan appeared calm to calm. He denied entering the tunnel, recently denied knowing Samuel, but inconsistencies surfaced. His timeline shifted, his answers repeated. When investigators showed him the recovered footage, his expression changed. Not shock, not anger, recognition. Ethan stopped speaking. Silence filled the room. After hours he asked for water. Then he spoke. He said the tunnel was not empty, that it never had been. He claimed it called to him, that it demanded protection. Samuel had entered without permission, had seen things. He said panic took over. The confession was partial, fragmented, unclear. But enough. Authorities searched Ethan's property. They found clothing stained with dirt matching tunnel soil, old tools, flashlights, no body. Ethan refused to explain further. The case moved toward closure, but closure did not bring peace. Because no remains were found, no final truth revealed. The tunnel was sealed, permanently. Concrete poured, entrances collapsed. Intentionally, Ethan Cole was charged, but some questions remained unanswered. What exactly happened in the darkness, what Samuel saw, and what the tunnel hid? Some mysteries reveal only part of their story, and the rest they keep forever. The confession never brought relief. It only deepened the silence. Ethan Cole never spoke publicly again in court. He said little. Only fragments, only enough. He admitted to confronting Samuel, admitted fear, admitted panic, but he never explained everything. No body was ever recovered. Search teams returned to the tunnel one final time. Engineers broke through sealed sections. Specialists mapped hidden chambers. They found signs of habitation. Old supplies, sleeping mats, food wrappers. Someone had lived inside the tunnel for years. Ethan. He had used forgotten maintenance corridors, hidden alcoves, places not listed on any official map. To him, the tunnel was not abandoned. It was home. Investigators concluded Samuel discovered something he should not have. a secret life hidden beneath the earth. Fear escalated, a confrontation occurred. What followed was darkness. Ethan claimed Samuel fell during the struggle. That panic guided his actions afterward, that he never intended to kill anyone without a body. The truth remained incomplete. The court sentenced Ethan for manslaughter and unlawful confinement. It was the closest the law could come to justice. The tunnel was filled with concrete entrances, destroyed, the mountain sealed. Authorities declared the area permanently closed. Samuel Hayes' family attended every hearing. They listened, they waited. They never received the answers they wanted. No remains, no goodbye, only certainty that Samuel had not vanished alone. His online followers created memorial pages, shared clips from his earlier explorations, remembered his calm voice, his curiosity. They warned others. Some places are forgotten for a reason. The forest around the tunnel slowly reclaimed itself. Grass grew over fences, trees blocked old paths. To an outsider, nothing seemed unusual, but those who knew, those who remembered, never walked near that place again. Because the lesson remained: curiosity opens doors, but not every door should be entered. Some mysteries demand silence, and some places never let go of what they take.